Hello, welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, and we generally like to talk a load of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And in this video, we're going to be counting down our top 5 Stefan Feld games. Please bear in mind that we haven't played all of Stefan Feld's games because a lot of them are quite hard to get hold of and a lot of them are just completely utter dog shit. But this is our top 5 Stefan Feld games. Lucky for us, we did get in contact with Stefan Feld and asked him if he would spare a few minutes of his time to actually contribute to this top 5. So we are absolutely delighted to have Stefan Feld's, albeit brief, opinions on these 5 games. So remember, if you're new in, and please consider subscribing to this channel, leave a comment in that section down below, and we'll see you after this. Bollocks. So before we get started with this list, we'd like to extend a big thanks to Stefan Feld for taking part in this rundown. So yeah, Stefan, thanks very much for being here.
Oh mate, yeah, it's good to be here, good to take part in this. Yeah, I've agreed to do this for 20 B&H and a packet of cheese onion crisps, so you can square me up later, right mush?
So number 5 on this list is a game called Luna. This is essentially a rondel game where you'll be moving your cult members around a bunch of islands and you'll be taking different actions. You might be able to recruit other like-minded cult members, right? You might be able to build shrines. You might be able to go around gaining the favour of a local priest. And you've also got the Moon Priestess and the Apostate, who are either going to help or hinder your progress in the game. One of the things that is really good about this game is you will be able to sanctify one of your cult members, which is basically placing them on the centre board. But there's this nice timer mechanism baked in to the game where this old geezer will be working his way around the board, and when he gets to the end, it will signal the end of the game. Right, do like Luna, it's a bit weird for Stefan Feld, this one, because we're not really seeing Stefan Feld move away from an actual board or player boards and actually use these individual tiles, right? But yeah, Stefan, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I agree with you on this one, mate, but you got to admit, it does look a bit shit, doesn't it?
So number 4 on this list is a game that is a bit of a novelty for Stefan Feld. It's Dribble Fever, and this is a 2-player football game that was endorsed by a German striker called Lucas Podolski. This is a bit of an oddity when you're talking about Stefan Feld games, but the fact that I do like football or soccer, if you're one of our North American friends, the fact that I do like football and I do like Stefan Feld games means I can merge the two together and basically indulge myself in 2 things that generally wouldn't go together very well, would they? This game utilises cards in order to take actions. Whilst it is a little bit basic, you do have an advanced game in there, which makes the game a little bit more strategic and a little bit more in depth. But the reason it's on this list is mainly because it's the only way that you can get those Feldian mechanics into a football game. And unlike a lot of his other games, in terms of theme, this isn't a stinking, rotting pig's carcass.
You what, mate? Dribble Fever is one of the worst games I've ever fucking made, you stupid twat.
So number 3 on this list is a relatively new Stefan Feld game from 2019. It's Carpe Diem, which translates literally as seize the day. That's something I do every day of my life, right? Basically, Carpe Diem, in terms of theme, is another stinking pig's carcass. It looks like complete and dog shit. That's something that we've become accustomed to with Stefan Feld games, so we are over it now. Essentially, in Carpe Diem, it's a tile laying game. You'll be taking tiles from a central reserve by moving your patrician around the depots, and you'll be placing tiles onto a player board in such a way that they will trigger rewards that will give you victory points. There's loads of different ways to score points. You've got the scroll track thing at the top of the board. You get points for the amount of chimneys that you've got in your little town, right? And the more landscapes you complete, the more rewards you're going to get. You might be able to chow down on a few grapes and herbs. Know what I mean? So yeah, whilst Carpe Diem looks really bad, I mean, whoever did the artwork on this game deserves to be drawing a dole for a good number of years. It's one of them games where you got a lot of things going on and you've got to think about the ramifications of a very simple action that's going to morph into a lot of other possibilities, maybe immediately or later on. So yeah, Carpe Diem, one of our favourite Stefan Feld games. And yeah, Steph, what do you think about this one, mate?
Yeah, when we first designed this one, it was going to be published by Cool Mini or Not with loads of really expensive and flashy miniatures, but the Feldian Society lobbied against it, and we had to relent because we wanted to sell it for 20 quid.
Number 2 on this list of our favourite Stefan Feld Games. And I'm just going to remind you that obviously you're probably screaming at me now, why aren't certain games on this list? That's because we ain't fucking played them all, you stupid fucking donuts. But yeah, number 2 on this list is Trajan, right? So Trajan follows in the footsteps of previous themeless Stefan Feld games, although this one has a sort of maybe a drip more theme than a lot of the other games, yeah. But basically in Trajan, you'll be moving your tokens around a Mancala bowl system, not a bowl system, a bowl system, right? And then you'll be taking actions. You could take the seaport action, allows you to draw cards that might give you victory points through like a set collection thing. You might be able to move up the Senate track and get points that way. You could take the military action where you'd be placing your legionnaires on the little map thing at the top in an attempt to gain territory, or you might be able to take maybe the construction action that allows you to build buildings and again get points in that respect. One of the strengths about Trajan is the multitude of ways that you can score points. It's what Feld fans refer to as a point salad. That's one of the defining aspects of Stefan Feld games. Maybe not so much nowadays at the time of this recording, but that's something that Stefan Feld is very well known for, is offering you a load of different ways to score points and you just picking up each way of doing it and then trying to gather points in the most efficient manner. Yeah? And Trajan is the best example of this. And as such, it is number 2 on our favourite Stefan Feld games. Mr. Feld, what do you think about Trajan? Do you like it or do you think it's a pile of shit?
Yeah, this one's probably my personal favourite game. There's nothing like being a megalomaniacal despot.
Number 1 on this list is Castles of Burgundy. It had to be Castles of Burgundy. 2 reasons why Castles of Burgundy is on this list. 1, because it's cheap as chips. It was 20 quid when we bought it years ago, and that is in stark contrast to the price of a lot of other board games that are available today. And secondly, it's sort of like a dice game. You're going to be rolling a couple of dice and you're going to be taking actions based on the results of your dice. And it's very rare that you're going to get this in Stefan Feld games, especially at the time that this was printed. Again, this is a themeless pile of crap. The cover is absolutely terrible and it doesn't really have any sort of bearing on the game, although there might be a reason for that. But yeah, basically in Castle of Burgundy, you'll be laying tiles onto your estate that will give you rewards and trigger different actions. You might be shipping goods out to the external markets. You might be rearing a few chickens. Know what I mean? Or you might be building buildings that will give you different abilities. All in all, Castles of Burgundy is an unadulterated classic. If you haven't played it, then you need to stop watching this video now, go down to your local Argos and go and buy it. If you haven't got no money, just nick it, because Castles of Burgundy is without doubt our favourite Stefan Feld game of all time. Stefan, before we go, what do you think about Castles of Burgundy?
Yeah, I probably agree with you on this one, mate. It's sold the most copies. Yeah, and the bloke on the cover is actually my Uncle Bob, funny old thing.
So there you go, that's our top 5 Stefan Feld games. If you're crying into your pillow for your favourite Stefan Feld game that isn't on this list, I couldn't give a monkey's fuck. So we're going to wrap this up now. Steph, do you want to say goodbye, mate?
Yeah, and see you later, mate. Yeah, before I go, I know a bloke who knows a bloke who knows a bloke who could probably get you a bootleg copy of Bruges if you got the right sort of money on you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, cheers, Stefan. I'll make sure that I'll get your cheese and onion crisps and your 20 fags to you as soon as possible. And yeah, it's just remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in that section down below, and we'll see you next Tuesday.